that they did regarding General Pahlane, and then she'll just take the theme in that way and just tell her, give oral evidence in essence, without relying on the statement. And she will just tell a story, and questions can be asked as she goes along.
There is a proposal. The proposal essentially says that the witness is under oath, and the witness has proposed to the legal team that let's go through the themes in a structured way. You will ask questions on each of the themes, or you will introduce a theme. I will tell you what I know, and then we will move to the next theme. I tell you stories as I know them until we reach the end of the presentation. Honorable Matthews.
Just clarity, Chair. Does this mean that the witness statement has been abandoned? So it's still based on that? And so there's nothing in there that's been withdrawn from the sworn statement. And then we're going to go theme by theme. You'll ask, the witness responds, and then each of us will have a chance to ask questions on that theme.
Yeah.
And then how are you going to do the time allocation, Chair? If
No,
you're going to go theme by theme.
No, what happens is that the legal team has a structured approach in terms of the themes. And then the witness, let's say, for instance, the first theme is on the Pahlane matter. If there is any role or any involvement, the legal team will then present the matter to her, and she will explain what happened. If there is anything she knows, if they were involved in operation, this is what we did. And then from there, they will introduce the second matter. If they were at the braai or at the book launch, she will, if there is any information she knows, she will explain that information until she concludes the presentation of evidence. But if members from time to time have questions like we were doing, members can always be allowed to ask questions for clarity. Honorable Nombalo.
Yeah, no, thanks, Chair. I just need more clarity, Chair, on the request. That one, then what is the difference between the sworn statement and, in terms of the content, and the oral evidence? Would there be any difference? And two, when we ask questions now as members, because the statement was sent to us, we read, we prepared questions, are we going to be allowed to base our questions on the statement that is before us? And three, what if now, when she presents her oral evidence, we identify some discrepancies or some contradictions between what she tells us and what is written here on her statement? How are we going to deal with that situation? We're not being difficult, Chair, but we don't want to take a position uninformed.
Yeah, she wants to respond to those questions.
Thank you. I'm also happy to do your normal procedure, I think, and Honourable Nombalo, I think you have a very good point there. Whatever the honourable members think is the best way to proceed.
What is the way forward? Because I thought what you were presenting to me is what you have agreed with her.
Chairperson, let's take it again with the witness and continue with the statement. We'll just read in what she said in her statement, and where there's questions on each paragraph, we'll take it that way.
Honorable Sangon.
Thank you very much, Chair. And I've heard what the witness is saying, and I just want to maybe just pose a question. I've heard Advocate Mkhize saying, let's go back that way. Ms. Trent, are you comfortable with that statement? Do you own that statement?
I do.
So all of the issues within that, you are fair with them, you are able to speak on them, because we struggled a bit at the beginning.
Yes.
So you're confident to go through it. Thank you, Chair. Maybe then that's the way we proceed.
Honorable Shong.
No, Chair. Thank you. Sir, this statement, how many times have you written the statement?
How many times have I written the
The
statement?
statement, did you write and submit it once, or did you do a back and forth?
Back and forth.
Okay,
When you say back and forth between
like,
who?
did you submit it once and then you are comfortable with it, or you?
So I consulted with Advocate Mkhize,
Yes.
and she then started to draft the affidavit. I accepted her assistance.
Yes.
And then a couple of nights ago, I received her draft, which I then worked on, and I've just been sort of going through, seeing what's relevant, what's not relevant, that would assist the committee members.
So this is you.
This is my statement. yes,
Completely you.
completely my
So
statement.
the proposal by chair, is it your proposal or the chair's proposal? Because it seems like there was a proposal and then you are not with the proposal, you are
No.
for the normal procedure that we normally do. Which is it?
Whichever the honourable members would prefer to do it, I think.
Would you prefer, if I'm a propose something different, that we keep quiet and you tell us everything, you confess, then we just let you go? Don't you think that would help you?
I can do that, yeah. I don't know.
But are you gonna tell us everything though?
I don't know. I'll tell you everything.
You seem too nervous. You see, I don't know how to say this, but I'm worried that you might, when we start questioning you, you might not give us exactly what we want, and you might be too emotional. So I think it will be best for you to just maybe tell the truth on what you know. Because our aim here is not to make fun or embarrass you, but it's to find the truth. You
In
might have
fact,
been.
what you are suggesting is what the witness has offered to do.
Yes, Chairperson,
Say-
Okay.
my
So you
suggestion.
can,
My suggestion, Chairperson, is this. I think that it would be quite overwhelming for any person, including myself, to have to make a speech off the cuff. And my suggestion is that we continue with the statement of the witness. The witness did rely on that provision, but she may have been mistaken to rely on that provision. But we can proceed to talk into the matters as to why we are here, which speak into the terms of reference. And she will answer the questions that honorable members have as we go along. But I think that it may be helpful to, maybe even for me to deviate from the planned questions and just for the witness to speak into her statement. She can read it in.
what do you suggest, Advocate Mkhize?
To use the statement as a guide for the witness, and she can read her paragraph into the statement, into the record, and we can then field questions that way.
Before I take the honorable members, let's hear what does she want us to do. Miss Sarah Jane Trent.
I'm happy to go through the statement.
Okay. Honorable Malema, Honorable Chopper.
No, Chair. Honorable Nombalo made some remarks, and then the witness went back to being emotional. And I've seen some pattern every time we speak, when we expect the witness to speak, the advocate comes in between us and the witness. unlike the other advocates where they wait and ask you if they can come back after we had asked questions or made comments. So she comes in between. Because that comment made by Honorable Nomval, had the advocate kept quiet and allowed her to comment on what Honorable Nomval said, would have gotten somewhere. Instead, the advocate came in between without giving her the necessary opportunity. And we even proceeded to speak, even when she was in a state, she was as if we were not interested in a condition. Because at the center of everything else, all of us here, at the end of the day, we must answer the question, was the witness fit and proper to appear before us? And fit and proper does not only mean the pains at the back. Was she in a right mental status to appear before us? Because from time to time, she breaks down. This is the second time. She's doing it again now. You see, and it's not something that you can blame it at her. She could be going through something that we are unable to detect. What is this thing? And we just said to her, now just talk. And then she says, you know, actually, when you made me to talk, I was under a heavy medication of antidepressant or something like that. But no one cared to ask me, am I fit and proper? Am I ready, emotionally stable to take this on? Because this we are experiencing for the first time, Chairperson. But the last point I wanted to say was, I'm happy whatever way you continue with the witness, as long as there's nothing special that is being created for the witness. She must never be treated special or different to the rest of the witnesses that appeared here. So if that is the understanding, I'm more than fine if she goes without reading the statement, but speaking to the statement or going paragraph by paragraph for the statement. Whatever the issues might be, we'll get to the bottom of the truth of what she knows. So we are in your hands, Chair.
Honorable Thopa.
Thank you, Chairperson. And Ms. Trent, I do see that Ms. Trent is emotionally really rattled where she's sitting. And Honorable Malema did cover me partially and just say, is Ms. Trent fit and proper to continue? I don't know if Ms. Trent would want to speak to a legal advisor. Does she feel that the statement is bothering her because we have questioned on one specific thing, which is the Section 24. Maybe Ms. Trent was advised to put this in and does not know how to articulate this, maybe not. I think it was a witness that said she was Mr. Nkambinda. He was sent back to revise his statement, if I remember correctly, and came back with his statement, and then he continued with his examination. Now, what Honorable Malema is saying, every time one of us speak, Ms. Trent does get emotional. And we can't treat Ms. Trent anything different than any other witness. But if that won't be the opportunity today, then we need to acknowledge it and move forward with the chair's discretion. But fairness will need to prevail, but in the conditions that we're currently sitting, I don't see that happening. And even if the testimony goes through to the end, when we do start with questioning, and Chair, you know how the questioning goes, what will be the outcomes then? Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Sols.
Chair, firstly, we've always maintained that we've got to be fair. I think it would be wrong for Ms. Trent to now just read her statement without being questioned or led, because all witnesses, whether they were here with back pains, broken shoulders, in pain, they had to be led. Procedurally, Ms. Trent, you must be led, not read through your statement. Number two, we don't know the reason why you're emotional. But if your statement here is true, and what we've read in Mr. Paul O'Sullivan's statement is true, then you've been fighting serious criminals. You've been facing dangerous situations. Yes? Which means you have the capacity to deal with pressure. And perhaps you are pressured now, but I would want to believe that you know how to compose yourself. So, compose yourself. You will get through this. I can only give you what I always give as an antidote. It's a scripture that says, look at me. Look at me, Trent. Miss Trent, look at me. Don't worry about them laughing. Look at me. It helps me. I'm a nervous wreck. That's why I sit here with this thing. It gives me courage. I don't take it lightly. People laugh at me, it's fine. The scripture says, the truth shall set you free. Forget about the gymnastics, being cornered and all that. Calm down. Speak the truth. And like now, if you are not sure about that answer, simply speak the truth and say, I'm not sure about that. Move on. But from me, you are a crime fighter, corruption fighter. I'm not going to believe that you cannot go through this process. You understand? All right.
Honorable Skosan.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, good evening, Ms. Trent.
Good evening, Honorable Skasana.
I'm not sure whether the question, but I think my question you must not misinterpret it. Sometimes people will be saying we are too harsh. We are not harsh. I want to ask you a simple question. For this purpose, before honorable members here, are you fit and proper for you to be able to go through this submission which you gave us?
Do you mean fit and proper sort of psychologically?
In whatever way, you know, for you to be, because if you keep on breaking, it's going to be very, 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 very difficult, because we have not started asking you anything.
Yeah, I thought I was.
Kodwa check sasa kwethiwa sibulela umuntu ngama question.
No. This is what we must do. Look, wait. Honorable members, wait. Can you listen to me? You know, when I go out to speak to the legal team and the witness, I'm representing you. And I'm acting in your best interests. Because the moment you are elected to a position of leadership, you become an elder in society. That's what happens. We elect you today to be a leader. You grow immediately. Because the position of leadership comes with responsibility. And the reason why all the things that you are saying, the questions that you are asking, all of them, they relate to the proposal that Advocate Mkhize has made before you, because the intention was to help the meeting to move forward. And that is why she would not divulge some of the details here which are not meant for public consumption. And the witness has said, look, here I am, this is who I am. I want to cooperate with you, give you the information that you want to hear. I propose we can go in there. If you allow me to speak, we can be structured in terms of the statement. And I tell you what I know. what I do not know, I will tell you that I don't know these things. And then the legal team will then guide the witness to say, we are on this. Then they give guidance and she makes a presentation. That's what has been suggested. But I can tell you, we can't in public ask a person questions like, are you sure about yourself? Who are you? I don't think we can do that. And we can't even expect anybody to respond to such questions in public. We can't. We need to have emotional intelligence.